Guys, it's been a while since I put up a video, and since it's such a beautiful day outside and I actually have nothing better to do, I figured I'd put up a little update. Um, okay, so I have officially crossed the line between avid Avengers fan to overly obsessed Loki fangirl. Um, if you follow me on Tumblr, you've probably seen my blog has pretty much turned into a Loki slash Tom Hiddleston slash Avengers blog. For the past week and a half, that's like all I've been reblogging is stuff relating to Loki, Tom Hiddleston, what he's done, what the Avengers are doing, and all that. It's kind of ridiculous. Um, so yeah. And I just found out something today that made me fangirl even harder, and that is that The Avengers has finally been given a DVD slash Blu-ray release date for this year. It'll be coming out on DVD and Blu-ray on September 25th, 2012, which is about what I expected because the movie came out in, yeah, May 4th it came out, so earlier this month. And depending on how well a movie does in the box office, I can't speak. It depends on how long it stays in the theater. And since it's been doing ridiculously well, like I've seen the film myself 3 times in the last week. Ridiculous, I know. But it's worth the money when it's in 3D and it's the best movie I've ever seen. Um, yeah, so that's about what I expected. It came out earlier this month. A movie is usually in theaters between a month and 2 months, depending how popular it is. And then there's usually 2 to 3 months of time between when it's out of theaters and when it comes out. So September 25th is pretty close to what I expected. Um, it's actually a little earlier than I expected. I was actually thinking like October and November would be when it was coming out, but I'm happy that it's September instead because that's a lot closer. I'm also writing a Loki fan fiction. I'll put the link down below in the description if you're interested. It's 3 chapters right now, and it is rated M for a reason. It isn't too bad yet because it's still fairly early, but in later chapters there will be M-rated stuff involved. Just a disclaimer, throwing that out there so you're not surprised if you add it to your favorites or whatever on fanfiction.net and you find that there is sex in it. So I'm warning you in advance, so don't get mad at me if it's not your thing. Um, so yeah, that's about it. I'll put a link to my Tumblr down here in the description too, for anybody who is also an avid Loki fan and would like to follow me on Tumblr. I'm reblogging shit constantly. So yeah. You can get your fix very easily from my blog or any of the other Loki related blogs on Tumblr. There are hundreds of them. So there's one more thing. For anyone who also happens to be a giant fan of Loki like myself, there is an awesome, extremely detailed action figure coming out of Loki. Looks just like Tom Hiddleston. It is scary how accurate it looks. The details are incredible. However, there is a downside, and the downside is that it is not cheap at all. It is not an action figure you would find at Walmart or anywhere you should. It's not a toy. Like, it is, but it's not a toy for children at all. Because it is a Hot Toys action figure, which means it is too fragile to be handled by a child. It can be posed and everything. There are 30 points of articulation now, also. It can be posed, but it can't be like manhandled like a child would play with it. Okay, here's the price. The price is right here. That is not cheap. As you can imagine, it's hard to pay for something that expensive sometimes, especially for me. However, I'm very lucky to have an amazing boyfriend who agreed to pre-order it for me for Christmas. Um, the estimated ship date for the figure is December of this year. So the very end of this year is when they're going to start shipping them. This figure was just officially announced yesterday morning, so they're still taking pre-orders to my knowledge, which is very good, but I don't know if there is actually a limit on how many pre-orders they're taking. So if there is, that is very unfortunate, and I hope boyfriend can actually pre-order it in time. But if not, we'll see. Alright, I think that's everything. Have a good weekend, everybody.